So it got pretty cold last night. It's down below freezing, about 26 degrees. I've been up here and colder, but it's still cold. Warmed up a little bit. I just barely got above freezing. It's about 30 out there right now. Saw some of the first snowflakes last night. Just enough to like line the window of the truck. The fire didn't go out. I was successful keeping that going. I only got up once this morning. What time was it? 4. That's when it was. At 4 I got up and put a big log in the fire and it was still there. Still there when I got up. Now I've been looking out this window. I haven't seen Jack. I saw a red thing up in this tree. I thought it was a cardinal. But it just turned out to be an apple. I think I'm just seeing grass blow in the wind. So what I'm going to do, I've got about 2 hours left of light, of good light, before it gets to dusk. And I'm going to go ahead and get dressed. And like I said yesterday, take a walk in that direction. I walked out the road here, the path, and went by right where I shot the deer from last year. And I walked down the path. Didn't see a whole lot to start with. Didn't hear a whole lot to start with. I picked up a deer trail, so he went out the deer path, so I followed it. So I was following this deer trail, and lots of scat here and there along the trail that I was following, and the trail went out through the woods, or through the down the path. So there's a path, and there's a deer trail on the path. So I followed it out there. One spot where I saw that it had fresh scat. I saw the flash. I saw the flash of the tail there to the right below the road. So it was right out there. And right after I saw the deer there, I heard something to the left. And I looked over to the left, and there was a gray squirrel going up a tree. So it was over there in the tree, barking a little bit. After that, I tried to go out the road more and keep an eye out for where the deer went. And I walked out to the fence line that's out here. It's about a mile. It's about a mile that way. And you know, it had crossed the fence line. It was way off. It was way off on the other side. I could hear it kind of going. It was going back up the hill. But fence line, as far as I'm going. So I wait out there for 20 minutes, see what happened. But it was gone. So at that point, I turned to the east. I turned east down the hill and went down the hill. Of course, there at the fence line, you could see all that deadfall that's out there. That's a forest fire waiting to happen right there.
It was odd. It's odd to see all those trees down out there in that one spot. So right there, I went down the hill, and there below the road, below that road is another road, and it actually comes back and kind of goes down around the hill and comes out below the house here. So I followed that back, caught another deer trail coming down the hill, going out the road. Now I think I was following the trail in the wrong direction, because I think it came. I think it was going south to north, and I was going north to south. So I think I was following it in the opposite direction. But I caught a trail back, and it came to a spring that's down there. There was a spring that looked like it was coming out of the hill right below a tree. So there's a little spring down there. That's nice. It's nice to have a spring. I don't know if that was all the way. I think it was there. It's been there for a while. I think so. I'm not entirely positive. But I tried to cross it. I crossed that little spring there and kept following the road, and I saw some scat and some trail, but I think it was all old. It wasn't anything fresh. So I continued to follow the road back out to where the laurel thicket is here down below the house, and it's a big thicket that runs kind of down the hill here, and it started to grow up in the road there, so there was kind of had some tight spots getting through there. But when you're in that thicket, you can't see anything. It's just completely surrounded by laurel, so I wasn't gonna be able to hunt or see anything in there. So instead of like, creeping through there, I just walked out the trail. Found a couple spots where the deer had pawed up underneath a small like sapling, kind of bit the branches off. They have a tendency to do that. That's one way that they mark. Besides rubbing tree rubs, they'll paw the ground underneath saplings, and they'll eat the shoots off the saplings, and they'll urinate in the paw spots, and that kind of marks as well as the rubbings. But I did not see any antler rubbings at all anywhere. Anyway, there's a clearing down here below the house where that trail comes out. And so I came up over the hill, and I heard something over here against the hill, and I think it was a squirrel, but I'm not sure. But it was making a bunch of noise over here, like way over here in the leaves. I could hear it. I didn't know what it was, but I sat there and waited and looked, and I didn't see anything, but I could hear it over there making a bunch of noise. I think it was a squirrel, but I'm not sure. So besides that, I didn't really see a whole lot. I heard a bunch of woodpeckers. Yep, they were all over the place. After I got back, I just decided it was getting dark. Went ahead and sawed up, I don't know, about 3 hours worth of firewood. About. I have plenty to last, for 2 or 3 days. But tomorrow's the last day. As soon as it gets dark, I'm heading out. So there'll be some there for next time. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to eat now. I was walking down the street, in the corner of my eye, I saw a pretty little thing approaching me. She said, I've never seen a man who looks so all alone. Could you use a little company? She said, pay the right price, your evening will be nice and you can go and send me on my way. I said, you're such a sweet young thing, why do you do this to yourself? She looked at me and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. No, we can't slow down, I can't hold back, though, you know, I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. 15 minutes later, I still walking down the street when a shadow of a man crept out of sight. He stepped in from behind me, put a gun up to my head, made it clear he wasn't looking for a fight. Said, give me all you got, I want your money, not your life, but if you try to make a move, I won't think twice. He said, you can have my cash, but first you know I gotta ask, what makes you wanna live this kind of life? No, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. And no, you can't slow down, I can't hold back, though, you know, I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Yeah. So last time that I stayed in my tent, I discovered that there was a cut or tear or rip in the door. I think it was the door of the tent. So I'm going to attempt to patch it because I don't want a hole in my tent. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Okay, right there is the tear.